Nick Wilde, the charming fox from Zootopia, goes from a con artist to a beloved police officer. In this video we will explore his backstory and character development, highlighting how he became the hero we know and love. Nick grew up in a poor family, living with his mom. His dad was never mentioned. As a kid, he really wanted to join the Junior Ranger Scouts, hoping to find a place where he belonged. His mom saved up and bought him a new scout uniform, and even though he was the only predator there, he was really excited to join. But things didn't go as planned. The other scouts played a mean prank on him, making fun of him and shoving him to the ground just because he was a fox. They even put a muzzle on him, which really scared him and made him dislike prey and anyone who discriminated against predators. Nick was really hurt by what happened, and he decided to never show his vulnerability to anyone again. He put up a tough exterior and tried to act like nothing could get to him. It was a tough way to grow up, but it helped him cope with the discrimination and prejudice he faced. After his experience with the Junior Ranger Scouts, Nick decided to embrace the stereotype that foxes were untrustworthy and sneaky. He figured that if the world was going to see him that way, he might as well use it to his advantage. So, he became a con artist, using his charm and wit to trick people and make money. He even ended up in juvenile detention, where he met Finnick, a fellow con artist who eventually became his best friend and business partner. Nick also worked with Mr. Big, a crime boss who respected and trusted him. They even had dinner together, and Mr. Big introduced him to his grandmother. But things took a turn for the worse when Nick sold Mr. Big an expensive rug made from a skunk's fur. Mr. Big felt betrayed and kicked Nick out, threatening to kill him if they ever crossed paths again. Nick's life as a con artist was full of ups and downs, but he always managed to stay one step ahead. He was smart and resourceful, but he also had a habit of pushing people away and burning bridges. It was a tough way to live, but for Nick, it was the only way he knew how. At the beginning of the movie, Nick seemed to be doing pretty well for himself. He claimed to have been making $200 a day since he was 12, but it's not entirely clear if that's true. Either way, he was making decent money with his cons and scams, usually splitting the earnings with Finnick. When the movie was first being planned, Nick was actually the main character. He was a clever fox who was on a mission to clear his name, with Judy Hopps, a no-nonsense police lieutenant, helping him out. In this version of the story, Zootopia was more of a dystopian society, with predators facing direct abuse and discrimination. Nick didn't like the city much, and his cynicism and sarcasm were just as strong as in the final movie. However, the filmmakers eventually decided to change the story and make Judy the main character. They felt that her story of trying to achieve her dreams in what she thought was a wonderful city would be more engaging and would better fit the message of the movie, which was all about bias and preconceived notions. So, even though Nick's role changed, he still played a crucial part in the story, and his journey from con artist to hero was just as compelling as Judy's. There were some differences in Nick's appearance in early versions of the movie. In some concept art, he was depicted as more of a classy, well-dressed character, often wearing a blackish-blue suit. Meanwhile, Clawhauser, the cheetah character, wore the green Hawaiian shirt that Nick wears in the final film. Over time, the filmmakers decided to switch things up and give Nick the Hawaiian shirt, while Clawhauser got a different outfit. The change was meant to reflect Nick's personality, with his sloppy and lazily put-together look symbolizing his laid-back and somewhat lazy attitude. In the early stages of the movie, a significant plot point revolved around predators being forced to wear electric shock collars to control their aggressive nature. Nick was one of the victims of this cruel practice, and it was Judy who eventually freed him from his collar as a sign of trust. This was tied to another major story element that was later removed from the film, which involved Nick owning an illegal indoor amusement park called Wilde Times. The park was disguised as a medical clinic and was created as a safe space for predators to remove their collars and enjoy being themselves without fear of discrimination. This version of the story also explored Nick's backstory in more detail. We saw him as a child with his well-meaning but somewhat inept father, who dreamed of starting a family business with Nick. We also saw him befriend Finnick as a child, with the two of them attending the same elementary school. However, the filmmakers eventually decided to revise the story because they felt that exploring Nick's past too deeply made the film too dark. They wanted to focus on the main message about bias and preconceived notions, and they felt that this was better achieved by making Judy the main character and streamlining the plot. So, while some elements of Nick's original backstory were removed, his core personality and importance to the story remained the same. Nick is known for his charisma, sociability, street smarts, wit, and cunning. As a fox, he's often seen as sly, shifty, and mischievous, traits that are commonly associated with his species. He's easygoing and smooth-talking, able to charm and trick others with his friendly demeanor. However, due to his difficult past, Nick has become cynical and prejudiced himself. He developed a fear of muzzles and a dislike for prey animals, seeing the world of Zootopia as a bleak place where dreams are nothing more than distant fantasies. He believes that those who strive to break free from stereotypes are simply wasting their time and energy. Despite his pessimism, Nick maintains a positive attitude by embracing his strengths, which include his intelligence, wit, and ability to con others. He also has a strong sense of humor, using wisecracks as a coping mechanism when faced with tough situations. His past has made him uncaring towards the opinions of others, giving him a sense of strength and independence. These traits ultimately help Nick play a crucial role in solving a deadly conspiracy in Zootopia. He comes to realize that it is possible to become more than what society expects of you, and he learns to trust and work with others to achieve his goals. Despite his outwardly uncaring attitude, Nick has a soft spot for those who face prejudice, like he did in his past. When he sees Judy struggling to prove herself on the police force, he becomes a strong supporter and protector of the bunny. However, Nick's affection for Judy also makes him vulnerable. He becomes deeply affected by her viewpoints and is resentful when he feels betrayed by her actions. This is seen when Judy publicly states that the feral disease is caused by predators' biology, reinforcing the prejudices against them.
For whatever reason, they seem to be reverting back to their primitive savage ways.
Despite his occasional bitterness, Nick's laid-back nature and caring nature ultimately win out. He is quick to forgive and continues to care for those around him, showing that his compassion is stronger than his anger. By the end of the film, Nick's experiences with Judy have helped him regain some of the optimism he had as a child. He no longer sees Zootopia in such a negative light, especially after becoming the first Fox police officer by helping Judy solve the case. He realizes that it's possible to overcome prejudice and find acceptance from others. Despite his attitude softening, Nick still maintains his sharp wit, often making sarcastic remarks and engaging in playful banter with Judy. The two have developed a deep respect for each other and their respective species, making their interactions more lighthearted and friendly. While Nick appears collected, he doesn't handle intense situations as well as Judy, who remains calm and takes charge. Nick tends to panic and become anxious when in danger, often fearing the worst. However, he never abandons Judy, even before their relationship fully develops. This hints at his selflessness and loyalty, even before his true nature is revealed to Judy. Nick's professional attire consists of a light green Hawaiian shirt, a dark indigo necktie with red and blue stripes, and a pair of khaki pants. When he helps Judy with her investigation, he wears a Junior ZPD badge sticker on his shirt pocket, which was originally a gift from Judy for Finnick but was passed on to Nick. After Nick becomes a police officer, his uniform consists of a navy blue ensemble with sleeves, a peaked cap, a high collar, and pants with a gold aiguilette and the ZPD insignia on his shoulders. He also wears a black tie and a utility belt filled with various equipment, as well as police sunglasses. His appearance reflects his personality, starting off as a laid-back con artist and transitioning into a more professional and put-together police officer. The change in his attire symbolizes his growth and transformation throughout the film, as he goes from a cynical outsider to a trusted member of the Zootopia Police Department. And that's the video. Thank you so much for watching.